Welcome back to MKE Gadgets. Before we start today's video, could you please subscribe to my channel? I appreciate your support. Today's video, we're going to take this piece of hot rolled steel. It's 3/16 by 1 by 2 inches long. I'm letting you look at it here a little bit. And we're going to turn this into $200 to $300. And you're wondering, how am I going to do that? So this is what today's project is about. This is a DeWalt miter saw stand. They retail from $200 to $330, depends on where you buy them. And this is like a hand truck. You bolt your miter stand onto it, and you take it to job site, and it folds up and down. Well, there's one problem with it. So you have this lever here, and you pull this lever sideways, and there's two cables, and they release some pins here. And this locks it in the travel position. And then when you pull the lever, and when you pull this lever, you can unfold it. And it's kind of like an accordion. Well, the problem with it is this broke off here. You can see this cross section here is very thin, and there's two of them. And it broke off, this little bracket here. So I'm thinking all I gotta do is take my piece of metal I was talking about, weld that on there, weld this on top of it, and I'll be good to go. So first I have to take this apart, remove the paint, flip this whole thing upside down, remove the paint, and weld this on. So with this little broken bracket, I can't believe someone shot this away, and I did a little dumpster diving, and this is what I got. So let me take this apart, we'll clean it up, and I think we can weld this and get it better than new, because it won't break again. So I moved this bracket off that handle. You can see where it broke. And here's a third weld that was really supposed to help. There's no penetration. There's more paint holding it on than anything. I'm going to remove some paint so I can weld this on. With the card upside down, you can see where the bracket goes. You can see where it broke off. I'm going to go on here and remove paint so we can weld that plate in. I got my piece of stock in here. I got a clamp, and I'm going to weld this. This is tight quarters, so hopefully my head's not in the way. I'll go in there and clean up the welds, and then set up for welding the bracket on. So this red triangle, that's a magnet that's kind of holding everything together. I'm going to weld that bracket to the piece of steel I just welded. This is kind of tight quarters, so if my head's in the way, I apologize. That was quite an awkward position to weld. I'm going to let it cool off. I'm going to go with my die grinder and clean up the welds. Another problem I have here is this lug came off the bracket. And this has been crimped on by the factory. And I have no way of re-crimping that. I don't have the tools. So I'm going to try to solder it on. I went and I drilled that hole out 1/16 of an inch. And that will give me a little room for solder. So first I'm going to tin this cable here, put a little solder on it, kind of like you tin an electrical wire. And my hope is when I slide this on, I get this melted, I can slide this on, and I can heat up this here, so I'll melt the solder that's already on there, and then maybe add a little more. The slug is dissipating the heat, so hopefully I can get this on. You gotta get everything warm at the same time. Oh, it's sliding on. It's sliding on. Beautiful. Now if I just had a third hand here, I'll keep it warm and try to feed a little solder in there. Warm up that. And we got solder. Solder's going. Definitely a job for 3 hands. So I don't know if it's going into there. I'll move the heat down here. Maybe I can draw it in. All right, I'm gonna let that cool off, and then we'll come back and see if that worked. So with everything welded together and reassembled, so far my solder joint here is working. I'm not sure how long that's gonna go. I had to straighten out this bracket. This was bent. So to work it, you pull this lever, pulls these 2 cables, and unlocks it. Had the bracket all welded back on. Had to play with the cables a little bit to get it to lay out right. I can't imagine why somebody would have shot this in a dumpster. You never know what you're going to find when you go dumpster diving. For a couple hours of work and a little bit of welding, I fixed this chop saw stand. It's going to have a new life. This is MKE Gadgets. Thanks for viewing. Please share this with your friends and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks. We'll see you tomorrow.